Women Who Can Live is a top-rated weekly show profiling women of color creators and business disruptors in the legal cannabis industry from Georgia and around the world. Hosted by America's #1 freedom coach and best-selling author, Coach Swan Simpson. The leaders of Women Who Can always keep it 100 by talking business and dropping nuggets about the opportunities and challenges in this billion-dollar game. Now that we have your attention, here's this week's episode.
Welcome to Women Who CANnibis Radio. I am Taiasha Montez, and we are taking our seats at the table this 2022. For our expo coming up in August the 6th, our theme is taking our seats at the table. And to start off this episode, we are setting the tone at this table with some gentlemen in the room. We have none other than DJ Kayode of from Invisible Tongues Radio and MC Class of hip hop's own Damage Control.
What's good?
We're setting the tone at this dinner, and we're going to set the tone with these gentlemen here to talk conversations about cannabis and chronic healing.
I like that.
Yes, sir.
Cannabis and chronic healing.
You know,
shout out to Dr. Dre.
Chronic healing. We've been chronically ill for a long time, so we got to chronically heal.
Right.
Okay. So today, gentlemen, I have brought you here because, number one, when I first found cannabis as a healing mechanism, I found it in the studio. I was in the studio with the boys who did the music, and I was the contact kid, on the recreational side. But as I became an adult, I fell into the legal cannabis industry with the CBD oil and things like that. And for those of you out there in Radio Land in Atlanta and on the internet who do not know me, my name is Taiasha Montez. I am on the leadership of Women Who Can, and I am a chronic health educator. I am a master healing educator. I am mastering my healing so that I can educate others on how to do the same. I've been in this industry for about 5 to 10 years now, kind of on the backside, on the business side. My background is in business administration, and I'm a student of Ayurvedic and integrative medicine. Everything I do is about healing. It's in the reason so because we don't come here to heal, we come here to live. Mm-hmm. But life puts us through situations that cause us to heal, and we don't understand that the things that we go through are not meant to hurt us. They're meant to make us grow.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I want to get started because Women Who Can does have a plan.
All right.
So, Kayode, do we have a plan?
Yeah, let's hear it.
To get out this mess, or are we in a new wild west?
Kinda chilly outside, it's getting kinda cold. I put on my jacket, but yo, that's getting old. I gotta get my mask, I gotta get to making up another rhyme as I'm looking straight at you, but keeping my distance at least 6 feet. What are we doing for 2 years on repeat? Walking down the street, walking down the Ave, making up a flow, everybody laugh, but don't laugh too hard cause you spray a bunch of mucus up in my way. I can't go to the club unless I wanna die, making up a rhyme and trying to be fly. People thinking it's dope and please until they start to sneeze.
Do we have a plan to get out this mess, or are we in?
All right, Women Who CANnibis does have a plan.
I'm from Cleveland, too.
Yes, we're going to talk about your plans in just a minute. But let's talk about the Women Who CANnibis plan. We are home of the largest cannabis lobby in North America for women of color. We are a 501(c)(3) company. We expect to bring 5,000 women to this legal cannabis industry by 2023 so that we can gain access to a seat at the billion-dollar cannabis industry table. Mm. And so, for me personally, that plan is growing and growing and growing. Like I said, I started out on the CBD oil side just as a user. A friend of mine took me to Cannabis Show Atlanta when it was open, and I got to taste all those delectable treats, but I got to experience a sense of peace and pain-free moments That's what cannabis is all about. If those of you who are listening do not know about the healing properties of cannabis, stay tuned because this is National Cannabis Awareness Month. A lot of y'all holding out for 19 days now, 420, but it started today. All right, not everybody smokes, but we can talk a different way. So part of that plan is to bring 5,000 women to the $70 billion industry by 2028. Right now, only 4.3% of the women in cannabis are black in terms of ownership. 81% are white. And the average startup cost for this industry is $10 million. There's zero legalization and inclusion support from Biden administration. And we all know the laws are changing rapidly here in Atlanta with different counties targeting different businesses with Delta 8. So we're going to talk about a little bit of all of that today. But Kayode, I wanted to ask you first and foremost, what brings you here today and why do you want to talk to the Women Who CANnibis about healing through music?
Well, we all need music, and we look to music for healing. So when you have the music that's on the right frequency, then it's okay to partake. It's okay. And as women, you all are the matriarchs, and all of us men look up to you because we want to get with you in some type of way. So as you heal, you help us heal just by leading by example without even saying anything to hold us accountable. But when you do hold us accountable, it's even more powerful. So when you hold us accountable in a healing way, it'll take us much further as a community. So I appreciate y'all doing what you're doing.
Well, I appreciate you too. And let's talk about this plan that you have because you laid it out in this song. You know, we tired of tiptoeing around these little pandemics. And, you know, we know how to heal. Our mothers and grandmothers and grandfathers, they did all the natural things to heal. We worked out in the sun. We worked out on the land. We ate food that we grew from fresh soil. And somewhere along the way, you know, we started working more outside of home and away from our families and started ingesting more ready-made foods, things that were prepared for us. And we really started experiencing more chronic health issues. You know, the number one killer in this country is stress. And who has more stress than the black man and the black woman?
Right.
You know, not to downplay anybody else's stress, but we have a collective trauma for being in this country for a long time, and we put in more than our fair share of work. So talking about this plan to bring equity, to bring health, to bring abundance to our people. You know, it takes more than just a single shot, a single pill, any single remedy. It's a lifestyle. So tell me about your lifestyle, and we want to bring Class in the conversation too as well. What are you doing here today, Class? Why are you here to talk to women who can about health and healing through music? And what can you tell us about your experiences with cannabis and healing as well?
Well, me?
Oh, yeah.
You want to ask for me?
I want to talk to all of you.
Well, I want to actually first give a shout out to Tabitha Deshelle of Elevate Clothing. She's got one of the best clothing lines I know. And give also a shout out to Alex Griffin, the business coach. And I got several friends over here. And
Getting a call.
Told you turn that ringer off.
No. That's Zane. Zane's giving me a call right now, so I had to call her later. The book writer.
She got a shout out on the radio.
Yeah, she's the bomb.
That's why she called.
Shout out to everybody who elevates us and supports us. We support you back.
But see, the thing about it, you know, I've experienced depression and severe depression, actually, when I broke up with my group. I was in a group called Brothers of the Same Mind. This is our 30th anniversary, so we got back together and we working on a new album.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But then I created Hip Hop's Damage Control because hip hop needs damage control. Rakim told me that too. And it was because all the negative music that's out there right now, people think that is hip hop. That has nothing to do with hip hop. That's a different culture. The culture of hip hop is upliftment. It's uplifting the entire community. It started off with 2 turntables and a microphone and a little light and plugged up to somebody's apartment. And nobody was killing each other in the streets. You know what I'm saying? But in terms, you know, I'll stay on topic. You know, women have the most powerful, the most, they're the most powerful people in the movement. Mm-hmm. Now, this is a conscious movement. I mean, I spoke to a brother a couple of days ago, and he was like, man, I didn't know that he's got like 5 degrees, and he smoked all through college.
Well, you know, I
got
want
rid
to
of the
thank you.
stress.
I want to thank you for bringing that up, because mental health and mental wellness is very important to me. You know my challenges, but for those out there in radio land, I've dealt with severe depression since I was a teenager, PTSD, bipolar, schizophrenia was recently diagnosed in the past year. And cannabis has been the one thing that has kept me. My therapist recently fired me. She said, listen, I want you to take these pills. I want you to take these pills, 3 different antipsychotics. And they had side effects such as kidney failure, a Parkinson's-like disease. And when I was taking them, I was having trouble speaking, remembering words, shaking. And I already have some of the symptoms that they cause, like fatty liver disease. I'm open about my health challenges. And so I'm thanking you for bringing that to the table, because a lot of people don't know that alternative medicines like cannabis, psilocybin, I can't say that word today, psilocybin?
Yeah, you
got
can't
it.
say
You
it
got
either.
it. You know,
Not the only one.
bring all these different things bring natural remedies, and so I really appreciate you bringing that to the forefront. Like I said, the reason I had you all here today, because there is nothing for me that brings healing like music and cannabis. You know, on the recreational side, we all know how that goes. This is the A. You know,
Right.
Shout out to all my Rastas who walk down the street. And smoke.
Rastafari.
But we're going to come back a little bit in a few more minutes and talk a little bit further about your healing journeys. We actually have a break coming up right now. So let's go on and do that station identification. And for those of you out there, you can listen on TuneIn Radio, iHeartRadio, and 1100.com.
Booyah.
Welcome back to Women Who CANnibis Radio. I am your guest host, Taiasha Montez. You can find me on Instagram at @FitTaiasha. I am a master healing educator, and I am sitting here with 2 other master healing educators. And let me tell you what that means. We are mastering our healing so we can educate others. These gentlemen in the studio are master musicians, and they have shaped the face of hip-hop. We're not talking drugs and alcohol and violence. No, we're talking healing. And that is the reason I have them on this show today. Brothers.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we talked a little bit about the Women Who CANnibis plan for bringing some equity to the cannabis industry, to bringing 5,000 black women to the cannabis industry, the legal cannabis industry.
Yeah.
Might I add. We don't want to talk about that
Legitimate.
side stuff.
Man.
You know, you bring like you said, you heal the women and you heal the nation.
Right.
You know, the women are the foundation. We support our beautiful brothers. And from there, you know, you heal the family. So in this first part series of Setting the Table, let's tell them a little bit more about the tone of what you do and why you do. Class, you talked a lot about healing the mental of our people and bringing a different feeling to music. And I know this is a talk show and a cannabis-related show, but I had to do music first.
No, I feel you. Today is the drop of the Own Technique, which is a record I'm just putting out. Hopefully, I don't know if y'all playing it or not, but
I can play a little snippet. We got to talk up in here.
no, I understand. What's going on is we need healing. I mean, we've gone through over 400 years of abuse, and the music industry, the film industry, their job is to continue the abuse. But there are other parts of the industry that they're doing the healing. Most of the records that I've sold have been overseas because they really want to hear the real music. Mm-hmm. And it got to a point where I said, well, I'm not even going to push my music here. But I'm starting to realize that there are people who want to hear healing music, and let's say you are a cannabis smoker or you doing something that...
Connoisseur.
And
there's other ways.
It's just like wine, you know what I'm saying? But if
Listen, you don't have to just smoke. It's other ways.
Yes.
Right. Actually,
Shout
eating
out to all
it
our
is
divine
better,
edible
really.
chefs. Shout out to Divine Supreme Cafe.
You're going to learn today.
And if you are that and you do that, your consciousness is open to whatever you're listening to. Now, if you're listening to positive vibrations and, music that tells you how to become wealthy, or music that is soothing to your soul and uplifting you, then you're going to go in a different direction. If you listen to, I want to go shoot somebody in the head and all that other stuff, then you're going to go in that direction. Heaven and hell is in your mind. If you think you live in hell, then you live there.
Yeah.
That's right. You create. Every day is your creation. Every plasma is your creation. Enjoy your creation. There is nothing that happens to you that is outside of you. Everything comes from the inside of you. And we can get into church today.
Amen, sister.
Anyhow. All right, Kayode.
Yes.
So tell me about this plan that you have, and tell me a little bit more about the music that you have. There's a lot of songs in the class, no offense. I didn't become a hip-hop head till I grew up. I'm a white girl, black girl body.
How dare you?
Hey, I grew up in Connecticut. I'm America's favorite Northern Valley country girl.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio. That's where I was born, reared up. And we are hip-hop critics, hip-hop snobs in Cleveland.
I start my day with Get Lit. I start my day with Get Lit. That's the first thing I do. I roll out of bed. I go into the restroom, drink my water. I hit my kitchen, get my fruit, roll up,
and then
hit
get lit.
Listen, I get lit with my sun salutations.
That's dope. Pun intended. So, yeah, that's nice. And so I'm about healing vibrations because I've seen people. I've been a contact kid. I never smoked. I still haven't smoked. I've only
some applause for that one. Not everybody is meant to smoke.
But I've been around the people that have smoked.
Do you have either of you have any people? And we all know somebody on the recreational side of this industry, but do we all have people in the legal side of this industry?
Yeah, you. And I do know some other people that have been attempting to get me to be a marketer or a distributor because I've done business with other health-related products. And it's all about frequency for me. So I'm just dealing with the music right now. I'm focused on that because everybody has a song that they smoke to, they ride to. I want one of my songs to be one of those songs.
Well, Get Lit is that song for me. But Human Behavior as well. I don't have that here to play today. I do have some snippets of different songs from each of you because this is a talk show. I couldn't play the whole song.
Right.
But Human Behavior is one of those ones that I feel, it's part of what I do. Like I said, what I do is to help other people understand their behavior, help people understand their habits so that they can create the life that they want. That's why I say I'm a master healing educator and I'm a facilitator. And so what I kind of do with people is I sit down and say, hey, this is what you want. This is what I know. And this is how I can connect you to what you want. And so human behavior is just one of those things because we don't often take the time to have compassion for people to understand why they are where they are, why they're taking the drugs or why they're taking the pills or why they're doing this. And I mean, for so many of us, it's chronic pain. I'm a chronic pain warrior. I've got scoliosis. I've got a rod in my spine from the nape of my neck to my tailbone. And I was addicted to opioids. I'm telling my age, y'all, I'm 45 years old this year, so I love it.
All right.
But when I was in my 20s, I was on every pain pill there was. I was an alcoholic, and I was seeking escape. And our people
I didn't see that when I met you.
Are you
Stop
supposed to
telling
say,
my business.
well, she got a cue card up or something?
Listen, I met her, and she didn't look like any of those things that she just put a label on.
I never look like what I'm going through. That's God's gift.
And I'm telling you, she stopped the world when she walked past me. I was like, what class I'm supposed to be going to right now?
Class, you better stop him.
Yeah,
Don't get him started.
but realistically, and I think that is one of the challenges here in Atlanta. Everybody's looking at the look.
Right.
I lived in L.A. for 20 years. It was all about how you look.
Mm-hmm.
You could be dying inside. I mean, we saw it with the Will Smith situation. You could be dying inside. You don't know what people are going through. People are stressed out.
Yeah.
And that's why I have to have my CBD. I'm going to be honest with y'all. The company, the CBD that I was taking I took Cannabistro brand CBD 500 milligrams with ashwagandha and turmeric. Ashwagandha is an adaptogenic herb. It helps you relieve stress. Turmeric is anti-inflammatory. And for those of you who don't know, cannabis is just above all of that. Anti-inflammatory, analgesic, adaptogenic, pain relieving. For those of you who do not know, your body has an endocannabinoid system. This endocannabinoid system regulates all of your other body systems, your blood pressure, your circulatory system, your respiratory system. So when you do not have enough cannabinoids in your life, and I want you to know cannabinoids do not just come from weed.
Right.
Okay, you can get your cannabinoids in your other foods. I just gave my brother some black seed oil, Nigella sativa. Sativa. Do you recognize the family name? It's in the family. So, y'all, I forgot what I was saying.
Well,
and I ain't even
you-
smoked today.
It was about hearing. It was about healing and how you were going through things in your 20s, and I didn't see any of that.
But no, it was about the CBD. So listen,
Yeah.
and that's what I was saying. I have to have my CBD. I have to have my CBD to keep the stress of living in the A down. I'm not a city girl. I'm a country girl. I'm a suburb girl. Put me down there with the cows and whatnot.
And that's oil, right?
CBD oil,
it's
yes.
delivered through oil.
I took the oil. There's a lot of regulation questions going on a lot around in Atlanta. A lot of stores are being targeted that have Delta 8, and Delta 8 is a CBD flower.
Okay.
So in some places you can't have a flower anymore. You can't sell pre-rolls anymore. So a lot of stores are being targeted. And I'm
That's just in the A, though.
well, not just the A, not just the
The
A.
South. Hey, speak how it is.
Well, maybe you guys can tell me where it is everywhere else because you travel.
But before I get there, and when I moved to LA, that's when I was introduced to a different way. Because all the records from Brothers of the Same Mind and all the stuff that I did with Ice Cube and all of that when I was on tour, I didn't smoke at all. But I was drinking 40s and
Well, that's worse.
you know what I'm saying? But I didn't know. But
see,
until I moved to LA. I was like, oh.
That's what our people were showed. We were showed to medicate and numb down with any and everything but what's natural. Cannabis comes from the earth. Mushrooms come from the earth. Food comes from the earth. Food is medicine. And we've been taught to look for whatever to numb us and dumb us from outside beyond
So they
food.
could make money. What are you talking about? This is a money-making industry. That's why, everything that's going on right now is about money. You know that.
So aside from bringing 5,000 women to the table, and we want to bring more people to this cannabis business, and guys, I'm glad you're here and that you don't have a lot of knowledge about this side of the industry because that's what I'm here for. That's right. I'm looking forward to seeing you all at the Women Who CANnibis Expo on August 6th here in Atlanta, Georgia. This is our 4th year going into the expo. The first year I was just an attendee. The second year I was a vendor. The third year I was a speaker. And there's no telling what I'm doing this year. So, gentlemen, I hope to have you in the building for this expo. It's not just for women. Like I said, we support the brothers because they support us. At this expo, if you come through, you will find me. I have had a booth for the last 3 years as Can I Help You Heal? I may have it this year. I may just be there some other way. But if you come looking for me, I'll be the one table with the soaps, the incense, and the
right.
Reiki. I'm the weird, the odd man out in the
That's
building.
not weird. That's
I'm
good.
not the one with the CBD
on
oil, but
point,
like I
right?
said, that's because the oil that I have been such a fan of and loyal to for so many years, they're no longer in business. And it's not because the industry's not making a lot of money. They just decided to take a pivot in this industry and really go from selling products to bringing us into the industry, to really educating us and bringing us into the industry. And I'm sure there's going to be some other brands out there, but until I find the one that I like, ain't nothing like Cannabistro brand with turmeric and ashwagandha.
Ooh, go ahead.
Yes. But let's get back to freeing our minds, because that's what we're here for today. We're here to educate people about the cannabis industry. But if you know me, you know I'm all about healing. So I'm here to talk about healing through music. We setting the tone and setting the table. And MC
Right.
Class, tell us more about why you wrote that song and what you hope to do with the people.
Well, actually, I wrote it with a girl named Tala in Seattle. She was going through depression. I was going through depression. She had severe back problems. She couldn't even get out of bed a lot of times. Couldn't walk. I was just going through, real depression. Because when I broke up with the group, it just took me down. But, the CBD oil, let's just get to that. The CBD oil helped me so much and it's helping a lot of veterans. Because I'm also a Navy vet.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. Give me some money.
Yes.
He talking about it's
Can I get a round of applause for all the veterans out there? Yes, everyone who keeps us safe.
Oh,
all right. Let's pay them.
Pay us.
That's
Pay
right.
us. Yeah, I like that.
Too many homeless and houseless veterans out
Give
here.
us some money, right?
Give them some money.
But the CBD is helping veterans. I sure wish that they would legalize it so the vets could get the help. Because we need the help. You want to solve the problems out there with the vets? Mm-hmm. Legalize it.
Look, you got loud on that.
Right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to solve the problem, the medical problems we have, legalize it.
Real quick, class, and I'm going to give you some more time, but thank you. All right. The medical problems that we have. Do you know that 85% of the medical bills that are out there, because we all struggling trying to decide whether we want to buy our medicine or buy some food, right? Mm-hmm. Buy our medicine or pay some rent. But 85% of the medical bills that are out there are for chronic health issues. Do you know that over 50% of the population suffers from chronic health issues? Do you know what chronic health issues are?
Yeah, things that could continue on and on
yeah,
and on.
Like this back pain,
heart
heart disease.
arm pain.
Do you know where it comes from?
Stress.
Right? Where else?
Arthritis.
What else?
GMO foods.
All right. Yep. All right. All sickness and disease basically comes from two sources, internal and external, right? Mm-hmm. The internal source is what you think, what you put in your body, what you watch, what you listen to. The external source is, again, that food that's coming in. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the exogenous toxins, because it's just toxins, that's what's making us sick, mentally and physically, it's toxins, come from the byproducts of the industrial age.
Right.
So all of this. And the thing is, people want to take a pill to fix their kidney disease, right? But they don't want to drink water.
Yep. A lot of us want to take a pill and continue to do what we're doing that makes us sick.
Right.
But even the medical industry would make a lot more money if they got involved in the healing process.
No, they won't.
Yeah,
they don't get no.
They would. If they switch their thinking to that, people would buy.
To what?
To CBD, medical marijuana.
What they would do is work to make something synthetic, just like they did with melatonin.
Well, yeah.
That's
I
what
digress.
Some of the deltas are out here. I'm not well versed on the different deltas. I like the real deal.
Yeah.
But some of the deltas are synthetics, and that's, I think, part of the confusion that's going on in the stores and in the counties here.
Marijuana.
Marijuana doesn't exist. Marijuana is a made-up term.
Right, but what I'm saying is there's cannabis that's GMO now that just got patented. Mm-hmm. So
that's the thing.
Yeah.
When you can patent something, that's when the industry wants to get into it, because a patent means you own it.
I just want y'all to know the process for extracting CBD oil was patented by the U.S. in the 70s. But back to what you were saying in class about having a system in place to support our veterans and having a system in place to support people. The thing with that is, on the medical side and on the legal side, they can't make money selling the pill and the poison, okay? The healthcare industry is not about healthcare. It's not about sustaining you and helping you heal. It's about having a customer for life. And so that's why I say I'm not in the healthcare industry. I'm a wholeness advocate. I'm a balancing advocate. We need to balance ourselves and get away from being a customer of the healthcare industry. And the thing is, when we pass these laws and we make it legal and we have these things in place, okay, in Georgia right now, we had how many people go pay for this cannabis card, this medical cannabis card, but they can't actually get the cannabis. There's no dispensers.
Let me speak on that too.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry to stop you, but
no, do you think?
If you try to go get one of those cards, it's very specific.
Yes.
You have to have PTSD. and it has to be
It's not just
diagnosed.
PTSD, it's about 9 conditions.
Yes, and they have to be exactly what it says on the paper, or you will not get it. Even if you got the money, you could prove you got mood disorders or any of those things, you still will not get qualification for the card.
And
the
if
card
you get
ain't gonna do nothing
qualified,
for you
where you
anyway.
going to get your cannabis?
That's
Where
what I'm
are
saying.
dispensaries here in Georgia? Do we have any?
No, and you're not going to, not for a while. I mean, they have dispensaries. I mean, not dispensaries. They make it, but they don't sell it here.
Yeah, they grow it. There's people here in Georgia that grow it and they distribute elsewhere.
This is why Women Who Can does what we do, because we want to make it accessible and available for everybody who needs healing. You know, we're not so much in the fight for legalization anymore, because sometimes it seems like a dead fight.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even if it's legalized, it's going to be taxed.
Well, you know,
like you wouldn't believe.
In Atlanta, everybody thinks it's legal. It's not. It's decriminalized, and it's only a certain amount and certain types. So make sure you know your homework.
Yeah, decriminalize is different than legal.
Right.
Please understand your
In Ohio, they, people are working to get dispensaries, and it was voted a few years ago before I moved back here to, decriminalize and legalize medical. But, everything takes time, and the people that are in position to take advantage are those who don't have felonies and who have the money to open up a dispensary. So some of those people in the medical industry probably are looking to slide into that because they're already in it.
That's true. But let me educate you as well. There are some people with felonies who can get into this industry. And that's the thing when we talk about equity. There are laws in place in some places and special provisions because, the war on drugs and the crime bill, it just disproportionately targeted us. And we wanted to make sure that there was some legislation in place to help those with felonies and cannabis-related records get into this industry. So they're in some states, and that's why Coach Swan does this. I'm not the coach. I'm just a student. But in some states, you can go in and get preferential treatment for licenses, get preferential treatment for establishing a business because you have that felony, because they want to right the wrongs and right the injustices that was done to your family.
Affirmative action.
Yeah, I mean, we still got people sitting in the jail.
Sound like affirmative action.
Yeah.
AAC,
We're
affirmative
fully
action
integrated
cannabis.
now.
All right, let's see. We just had one song from each of you all. And I know we don't have a whole lot of time left, and I wanted to give you all your platform because, like I said, your music has been instrumental to my healing along with this cannabis. What it is, you guys gave me 2 songs apiece. Let's see.
Better Way from Invisible Tongues.
A Better Way.
And there's a better way to get your cannabis, right?
Oh, yeah, there's always going to be a better way. We're going to make some better ways. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Women Who CANnibis is bringing a better way.
Yes.
A better way to understand the legal cannabis industry, a better way to get your healing, a better way to build your businesses, build your families, and grow communities.
Yes.
I have with me MC Class and Hip Hop's own Damage Control.
Thank you very much.
And Kayode.
Yeah.
Alumoroti. I can't get it together,
It's
baby.
Kayode. So in Yoruba, it is Kayode. That means he who brings joy. The name that was given to me is spelled the same way, but it's from Ga, which is Western Africa, like Ghana. And it means there's much more to this than the surface exhibits. And when I went to Ghana, I was saying my name was Kayode, and they was like, nah, ain't no name like that. And I was like, well, it don't mean he who brings joy. They was like, oh, Kaoda.
Kaoda.
And I was like,
Olmaroti.
okay.
Well, my name means the one who walks with God, and I didn't know that for years. There's
Okay.
only about 12 Taiashas in the world.
Wow.
Class, you know, you talked a little bit about your, I say pranayama, but you mentioned a different type of yoga. And
No, it wasn't yoga. It was
breathing exercises. And those are what we wanted you all to grab a pen and paper for, okay? Because the way to bring balance to yourself.
Go ahead.
Y'all, he cussing me out on the slide. He over here cussing me out on the slide.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, you tell him.
No, I mean, it was the study of self-realization. I mean, I did learn that in L.A. But
that's the
he
thing.
teaches yoga. I mean, that's how yoga got brought to the United States.
Look, I'm about to take y'all to church for a half a second. We run out of time in here, but that's what it's all about, okay? That's whatever you call God, whatever you believe in. If you are atheist and you don't believe in God, you believe that everything came from somewhere, right?
Yeah, that's the whole point.
And so, Ayurveda.
I don't even know why I even said anything.
Nah, we gonna clear some stuff up in here.
Clear it up, sister.
Ayurveda is the knowledge of life, okay? Ayu is life, Veda is knowledge. So we are all here as students of Ayurveda, as students of the knowledge of life. And like Kayode said, when you take a breath, you're inhaling, you holding it, you exhaling. That is a meditation. That is a healing mechanism, whether you toking or smoking, choking, or what, right?
Mm-hmm. And
Also,
whatever you smoking or smelling or inhaling, that's the energy and the vibration that you're going to put into your body. So you want to make it as pure as possible.
That's right.
Also, freestyling is a form of meditation. When you just come off the top,
Yeah.
that's meditation. When you're drawing and you just coming off, that's meditation. All of it is meditation.
Now listen, you know, this is a cannabis-related show, and I know when we over here talking about meditation and people are wondering what does
It's a
meditation
part
have
of
to
it.
do with the other. But they very much flow together. I mean, you can meditate without it. You can. But when you are just have completely relaxed your mind and body with the help of natural essences. Our people ate food, grew food, and used food and herbs as medicine.
Mm-hmm.
In Ayurveda, there are, most of the plants that are used as medicine around the world, almost all of the medicinal plants are in India. Most of the medicinal plants come from India. Ayurveda is one of the oldest, traditions of natural healing out there. Out of those, I think it's 700,000 plants. I think 300,000 have, different types of medicinal properties that, put it like this, 700,000 species grow in India. 300,000 have medicinal properties. Another, I think, and I don't have my notes in front of me, I think it's a very small number, have properties that are good for...
Skin.
Nope. For aromatherapy. Because you got to understand it. Just because you smell it don't mean it's doing something, but some things are, like rose, like jasmine, like lavender, like sandalwood. All of these things have properties that are healing to us. And just like you said, when you take that breath, it's going into your lungs, it's going into your throat, it's going into your olfactory senses. And, I mean, there's a small plate between your nose and your brain that allows certain scents to cross that blood-brain barrier and literally bring instant relief to your brain.
Yeah.
So this is why I do what I do. This is why I'm into cannabis and I'm into all these natural healing modalities. What I wanted to tell people today, the easiest way to get your life in balance, the easiest way to heal yourself, one, change your thoughts, change your mindset, change your vocabulary. Okay? Dis-ease. Dis-ease. Off of ease. Out of balance. Think about what you're putting into your body. Think about what you're putting on your body.
Mm-hmm.
Gentlemen, we've got a few minutes. What do you want to tell the people about cannabis healing through music?
Well, your music, the right type of music helps your plants grow.
Oh, for sure. Did you know plants can create music?
Yes, plants communicate with the sun and with people and other life forms. And they have recorded those sounds in a movie called The Secret Life of Plants. And the soundtrack was done by Stevie Wonder.
What?
Yes.
Isn't he love? Let me stop. I
He
don't
made
say
a
y'all.
song called Power Flower. And he also talked about the star system Sirius. Yeah. A seed's a star. A star's a seed. And you get your weed from a seed, which is a star. All right. And a sun is a star. Taiasha, 60.
Yes, I am Ken 60, the yellow galactic sun. Those who know Mayan cosmology know that. Those who don't, we'll talk to you about it some other time.
Ken 171 here.
All right, Ken 171, the monkey, he over here playing.
Doing the monkeys here.
173, the Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like, for me, being a cosmic citizen, that's the beginning. That's the foundation. You're a cosmic citizen. You get to know yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Know yourself. Accept yourself. Forgive yourself for what you've done. Forgive yourself for what you've allowed others to do to you. Control yourself. When I say control yourself, y'all don't know. I done wild it out in Atlanta. I'm surprised I don't have no record out here.
No, don't tell them.
Get to know yourself. Get to know why you act how you act. Get to know what affects you, how your food affects you. 99% of the toxins that we have in our body come from doing the wrong thing at the wrong time. Eating the wrong foods at the wrong time. Eating the wrong foods for our body type. We're going to talk some more about this. Yes. I don't know the blood type stuff, but I know my body type.
And there's also a haplotype, which is your DNA.
We're going to talk about that some more next week, about these foods. The OM technique.
Yes.
Let's get ready to get out of here. Let's bring some peace, brothers. Do you have any last words for our people? Any meditations? Any affirmations?
I want to affirm Women Who CANnibis, WHC.
Bruh, why was I typing WWC in my notes all week? Like, what is WWC?
It's what would
It's
cannabis
WWC.
do.
No, it is WWC. See, you got me confused. I've been typing WHC. How you spell who?
WHO.
Right. So it's WWC, not WHC. MC Class.
Yes.
The OM technique.
The OM technique.
I am so grateful to have met you, my brother.
Same
Like,
here.
I met him first. But you, I mean, your music, your meditations, your, and I guess because we share that similar background of depression and the mental health challenges, you know, I always know when you're going through. What is it you want to say to the people about cannabis? You've had a little bit more experience with cannabis than Kayode out here.
Well, I mean, what I learned is use it all. If you read the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, whatever, use it all. Bob Marley was a cannabis user and he read the Bible every day. So whatever works for you works for you. Whatever works for you might not work for me, but it works for you. Find your own zone. And just remember, this can help you. This is just like cannabis. Practice the OM. Just keep practicing. Practice meditation. Just keep practicing. You and stop judging yourself. Get off it. We've done that too long. We're in the healing process now. Forgive yourself.
Move on.
And move on. We're in the healing process now. So with that said, just practice the OM.
The OM.
The OM technique.
Way out in the atmosphere.
The OM technique.
I cut these things out till
The OM technique.
Way out in the atmosphere.
The OM technique.
Broken glass everywhere. People just wanna smoke out. You wanna know what this is about? It's the realness of the universe fully coming out. Damage control's just another guy.
just
We
listen
learned
to
over
it.
the years
Come
that
back
it
to you
comes
for
from
like
the
2-3 more
inside.
minutes.
Send
Do
a
like 2 more
spiritual
minutes
message to
after
the
the song.
universe. Divine Mother will always come first. With this collective vibration we can reach. No need for a pulpit. I'm not here to preach. No one is better than the other. We all have unique powers to discover. Open pathways to our spiritual force.
That's right. We all have unique powers to discover.
Yeah. Glory goes to the higher power.
That's right.
We're
Divine
part of the
Mother.
higher power.
Divine. We are.
We are a part.
We are part of the consciousness.
I'm part of the left ring finger of God.
The right thumb. That's what we was all put here to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been my time for the day. I am Fit Taiasha, F.I.T, Taiasha. You can find me on Instagram representing myself and Women Who CANnibis. Go to our website, womenwhocannibis.org, to find out about our 2022 Expo. Reserve your free tickets. You just missed our early bird vending, but you never know, might be some specials. Reach out to Coach Swan. I would like to thank our illustrious leader for letting me sit in for her today. Shout out to Dora Chambers, Divine Supreme, and all the ladies of leadership of Women Who CANnibis.
Oh, you know Dora Chambers?
Oh, boy, where were you last week?
She was on the show?
Where were you? I sent you the link and everything.
You know what? I know Dora. I've been in, anyway.
Divine Supreme.
She's one of my mentors in business.
I'm telling on you if she's not listening.
Ooh, she gonna get you.
She don't know Kyle.
All right, y'all. We have set the table. We done set the table. Next week, we're going to prepare the meal. In our third week, we are taking our seats at the table. My name is Taiasha Montez. I will see you next week.
What's up, Mom?
Hip hop's damage control and
She texts
brothers
me.
of the same mind.